Yes guys, welcome back to another Chelsea video. Today we are going to be looking at a full in-depth analysis as to how Chelsea have beaten UEFA's financial fair play regulations using long-term contracts. So just to bring anyone up to speed, what Chelsea have done is we have spent a significant amount of money under our new owner Todd Boehly, 600 million over 2 windows. Now, just to go back before that, Chelsea were previously owned by Roman Abramovich, but due to Chelsea being seized by the UK government due to the Russia-Ukraine conflicts, Roman Abramovich did make the executive decision to sell Chelsea Football Club. In comes Todd Boehly and his consortium. And like I said, £600 million has been spent on Chelsea just on players. So obviously what we're going to do is we're going to explain how that 600 million isn't actually being counted as 600 million. So what we're going to do is we're going to explain. So let's use Raheem Sterling, who's on the first on this list, as an example. So we spent 47.5 million to Man City for this player. Now that doesn't go down as 47.5 million. What's actually going to happen is the contract length of the player. Now Raheem Sterling put in pen to paper on a 5-year deal. He counts as 9.5 million per year. Obviously 47.5 million divided by 5. Next up, obviously we have Cucurella, who we purchased from Brighton. Now that was £60 million. He put pen to paper for 6 years, guys. So that breaks down to £10 million per year. Then obviously our next centre-back signing, we have Koulibaly from Napoli. Now, we purchased him for 33 million. He put pen to paper on a 4-year deal. So that comes in at 8.25 million, guys. Now, this guy is a future signing, obviously being Chukwuemeka. Probably pronounced his name wrong, so I do apologise if I have. From Aston Villa for £20 million. He is currently on a 6-year deal, so obviously that just comes in at 3.333333 million. Now, probably the biggest signing of the summer, given, you know, having gone after literally everyone else, being, you know, De Ligt, Koundé, etc. Fofana finally signed near the end of the summer window, just for 75 million. Now he's on a 7-year deal. So how that works, obviously if you take the transfer versus the contract, that comes in at like 10.714 million when you divide the contract by the sum. Now finally, the last signing of the summer window, actually, you know, Tuchel signing. Didn't really get to play much with Tuchel, probably only 1 game before Tuchel was sacked by Todd Boehly, being Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now he was 10.3 million. He only put pen to paper on a 2-year deal, so that works out at 5.15 million. However, we will touch on this transfer a little bit later in the video, as you know, Aubameyang is not in the knockout stages squad for the Champions League and is looking more than likely to leave the club next window. But we will touch on that a little bit later when we go into something more in depth. So moving on to the January signings, obviously we have Badiashile, another centre-back signing from Monaco. He was £35 million, but we put pen to paper for 7.5 years. So that comes in at 4.666 million. Then obviously we have the loan deal for João Felix. Now that was 9.7 million for 6 months. However, it's 0 to 1 year, obviously counting for that. So that obviously stays as 9.7 million. Now, next signing, obviously PSV purchasing Madueke. That was £29 million, guys. So that was another 7.5-year deal. So technically, in the eyes of financial fair play, again, we are only paying 3.866 million for this guy. Then obviously we move on to one of the bigger signings, probably the second biggest signing that we've made under Todd Boehly, being Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk. Now this was seized from Arsenal. Obviously we came in with the £88.5 million bid, finally got the signature, got him on an 8.5-year deal. So again, This works out at 10.411 million per year due to the 8.5-year deal. Then obviously we have Gusto, the right back replacement for Reece James should he get injured, from Lyon, 26.3 million. Again, he's on a 7.5-year deal. You're probably going to see, a bit of a trend here now, guys. Working out at 3.506 million. And then obviously we have the British transfer record, Enzo Fernandez, 106.8 million pounds, 8.5 years, guys, 12.564 million. So obviously I have left some guys out because I have done as much research as I can, but when I look at Fofana and Santos, it's all undisclosed fees. I can't see what the actual fee is. There obviously is reported fees. Obviously I have left Nkunku out because we are looking at spend this season. We might do another video on this next season just to look at, the implications should we not make Champions League or any European football at all. But we are looking at this season, guys, hence why Nkunku has been left out. But obviously with Santos and Fofana being undisclosed fees, reported around X amount of million, I have decided to leave them out. But with the guys that I have listed, Chelsea have spent 541 million total on all those players. Now, when you look at that, and obviously break down the contracts, how much of Chelsea actually spent in the eyes of financial fair play, we have only spent £91 million. Well, 91.6 to be exact. Now, just to show you how well we're doing, obviously Chelsea have a wide range of sponsors. Obviously the Nike kit deal being for 900 million over 15 years, that obviously averages out at £60 million per season. So just from the Nike deal alone, you basically take the 60 off the 91, we've only got 31 left. Then obviously Free, who we will no longer be sponsoring with next season, they were paying £40 million per season. So for this season, obviously 40 million a season, you add the 40 onto the 60, 100. There we go. Chelsea are already minus wages in the profit. Then obviously we've got Whalefin as well. The shirt sleeve sponsor, they were paying £20 million a season. So Chelsea bringing in £120 million alone just from sponsors obviously balances this all out. So really, guys, that is how Chelsea have used the long-term contracts to beat financial fair play. However, there will be massive implications as to what happens next. Should Chelsea fail to reach Europe, Champions League, etc. But I'm quite confident on this, guys. We've really got a good squad now. There's no more excuses. Obviously, this video has been recorded after the weekend and the draw to Fulham. Top four is open, guys. So I'm not really hopeful myself. But realistically, with all other clubs not performing as well as us, Liverpool dropping key points, obviously Tottenham dropping points. I mean, I know they've just beaten City as of recording this video, but it's Tottenham, guys. They're going to bottle more points. Obviously United bottling points here and there, even though they're looking in really good form with Rashford and that. So I am quite confident. It is an open race. It's not, dead to us, but what Chelsea really need to do is obviously use these signings that we've got, put them into play, obviously turn up. And if we can start grinding out results and getting those key results in the key fixtures, who's to say that top four isn't achievable? But obviously now going back to obviously next season implications, obviously I mentioned Aubameyang. Now, Aubameyang being left out of the Champions League squad does mean he's more than likely going to be leaving Chelsea next season. So that could sort of change sort of the prospect of financial fair play. Obviously we've got probably a lot of other people going out. Obviously when I mentioned incomings, obviously I've left out obviously players going out, sellings, etc. But the video overall is how everything's been broken down and how Chelsea have used obviously these long-term contracts to beat financial fair play. So when you look at how much we've spent on the list of players that I sent, just again to recap, £91 million has gone out on this year-on-year spend. 120 million from sponsors has come in. That's not even including merchandise sales, match ticket sales, the Trivago deal, TV rights, but also on the counter argument, I also haven't included wages as well. But if you look at it that way, obviously Chelsea are still technically in profit, and still able to spend a lot more money. But yeah, guys, that was the video for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. You know, we're going to be putting out a lot more content now from various, you know, different people from the channel. So this is going to be really exciting, guys. If you have liked the video, do drop it a like. If you want to turn on notifications, you'll be notified the moment we upload. Do hit that subscribe button as well, just to see this exciting content that we're going to start putting out as well, guys. In the meantime, guys, let's just hope, you know, Chelsea can do this. Let's just hope, you know, we haven't spent 600 million for nothing, and can, you know, maybe sneak into the top 4. I might not be as hopeful as others, but you know, I'm not ruling it out, guys. But yeah, like I said, like the video, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you want to, you know, discuss what I've said in the video in the comments, do feel free. Put your opinions down as well, guys. What do you think of this, you know, breakdown? What do you think about Chelsea spending 600 million? And what do you think about Chelsea stealing players from the likes of Arsenal? And to be honest, why have Chelsea, you know, been the choice of these players? You know, you could have gone to Arsenal for a Premier League medal, maybe, if they don't bottle it. But obviously we might cover that in another video, guys, but more than likely, you know, 600 million pounds spent, expectations need to be delivered. But yeah, in the meantime, guys, have a great day, and peace.